So my movie that I chose was Red Eye. We picked suspense thriller. I had no idea what to pick. I don't really know too many suspense thrillers that I really thoroughly enjoy. There were a couple, but any ones that I wanted to pick, these guys had all seen before, and that was a problem. Can't do that. So I ended up picking Red Eye because I knew that it was a decent movie that I would be able to watch again and watch for a second time with kind of a new mindset going in. Plus, it is directed by Wes Craven, and I knew that Ryan would appreciate my pick for that.
Rest in peace.
So, if anything, there's that.
It's true.
Well, Red Eye is a movie about this woman, Rich McAdams. She was seated on a plane on a red-eye flight, get the name there, next to this creepy dude who is a hitman of sorts.
And has beautiful eyes.
And has beautiful eyes.
Cillian Murphy.
She finds out after she gets on the plane's already taken off that he has targeted her father so that him and his men can kill a political figure. You can have a problem with this movie just because 90% of it takes place on a plane and in this one little two-seat area. But with that being said, I think they did a really good job with keeping it nice and interesting and almost having something going on at all times, even though it did take place just in a plane with a few takes outside a plane, like in a hotel or someone's house, other than the ending.
Well, as you said, Wes Craven directed this movie, and I'm a huge Wes Craven fan. Really sad to find out he died too soon. But yeah, I'm a huge fan, and I've been meaning to see this movie for a while, so I'm glad I finally got to see it. And I really liked it a lot. Rich McAdams and Cillian Murphy, you know, they did a great job. You know, most of it takes place on an airplane, which I really liked. It was really suspenseful. I almost wish more of it had taken place on an airplane. Like, it would have been kind of cool for the ending of the movie to also be on the plane. I think that would have been a cool route to go with it. But it was really tense, really suspenseful. I was wondering what was going to happen next. It was really cool. That said, again, one problem. One problem.
Right next to the end.
Right next to the end. Exactly. It's three times. Yeah. There's a transition. Spoilers, sort of. From the airplane to the house. All the transition stuff just felt kind of weird to me. I don't know, I was kind of disappointed they were getting off the plane. I was like, oh, I kind of wanted it to end on the plane. That said, once they got to the house, it was weird. It felt like a classic Wes Craven slasher movie, but it wasn't. But the way it was filmed and the way all the scenes were working out inside of this house, it felt like it was directly pulled from like Scream or A Nightmare on Elm Street or something, and it was really cool. I really liked it a lot.
I thought it was a pretty good movie. I never heard of it before. There wasn't really anything to really complain about it, I guess. I guess kind of what you were saying there, that transition just seemed kind of awkward. My favorite part though was the last scene on the airplane. That was
That's awesome.
Yeah. I did enjoy the slasher part of it, kind of at the house. It did remind me of the movie Scream. So that was kind of cool. I don't know. It was a decent movie overall.
So I think I've seen the end of this movie probably 20 times on TBS. Because it's just one of those movies that's on TV all the time, and you always get home from school or work and you turn it on.
Really?
What?
I've never seen this movie on TV ever.
You never come home on time.
Yeah, so I've seen the end of this movie easily 5 times, just because I would turn it on and it would always be just like last 20 minutes. Nothing else is on, you know, SpongeBob's not there. Alright, cool, we'll do Red Eye. I had no issues with the end of the movie, and I'd never seen the beginning, not to my knowledge. So I was glad to finally have the first part of the movie, because I think I had the back 20 minutes memorized. I enjoyed the movie more than I thought I would, and I would definitely say that as far as thriller suspense goes, I feel this movie fit the theme the best. Whereas like Snowpiercer can be more of like an action thriller, and mine is almost like a comedy thriller. And then Ryan's pick, you'll find out later, again, it's almost more of like an action thriller, but still more on the thriller side.
Yeah.
This one is just pure thriller suspense. I wouldn't call it anything else. And one thing I liked about it, it was very subtle, and I feel very Ryan-like saying this, but it did a really good job of putting emotion into all of the little things. Because most movies, when someone is taken hostage, they kind of glaze over all of those little awkward moments in between the big things that happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
This movie, because you're trapped in these two seats, essentially you're trapped with Rachel McAdams. You are stuck for the better part of an hour on this plane with this psychopath and Rachel McAdams trying to figure out what to do, and you don't get to go anywhere. And it's, I mean, there wasn't really a score to the movie, but just like the sound effects I have in the background with like the really low humming and just like Rachel McAdams' emotion and just the way everything is playing out around, I really, really enjoyed the emotion that this movie gives you in that way. I thought Wes Craven did a fantastic job with that. That being said, if you headbutt somebody where you knock them unconscious and your head is bleeding, you don't just go like this and it's gone. And it's just done bleeding after that. But Wes Craven, so I forgive it, because he's definitely made movies that are a little more ridiculous than that. But I also enjoyed the end of the movie. One thing I guess we didn't talk about, we watched this movie and my girlfriend was in the room. During the slasher scene in the house, she actually screamed at like the part where they just built up the suspense, and I died laughing because she doesn't like scary movies. For the most part, this movie isn't too scary. It's just really suspenseful. But that part of the movie is just, I was kind of waiting for it all movie, knowing it would happen. I loved that too.
That was great.
All in all, really, really enjoyed the movie. Really thought it fit the theme well, and I was glad to finally get that complete look at it.